Eta. Welcome. It's the 5th of March, 2026. It's the official opening of the third session of the 7th Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature, and it's delivered by the provincial Honorable Mandla Ndlovu. That's the Premier of the province, and this is what we've been waiting for as the province of Mpumalanga. This is for the province of Mpumalanga. A lot of people are looking at things that he's going to deliver. Remember, the Honorable Premier was in the SOPA, where Stona, President Cyril Ramaphosa, was also delivering his State of the Nation address. And he did the debate of the station or the debate of everything. So we're looking at everything that he is wanting to say in terms of the province and how the province is going to be addressed, or all the issues that people are looking for in the province. We're looking forward to the address. We're looking forward to how it's going to be addressed. What are the things? A lot of people, when we've been asking on the floor, on the media, we've been asking, how are things happening? When are the things happening? And we're looking at how should this thing be a thing of the past. We're looking at a lot of things that will be coming through from our things. It is the third session. It is the third session of the official opening of the legislature of Mpumalanga, and we're saying it's the 7th Mpumalanga provincial legislature. Where the name of the show is the State with Celani Dube. Podcast. We are on live. We are on Twitter. We are on Facebook. We are on X. We are live on Facebook. And we're looking forward to talking to you throughout the entire days. A lot of guests will be coming through, and a lot of artists will be coming through. We'll be talking to various people who are going to sit here and we'll be able to talk to you. Now, at home, you might be watching and wondering, what has been happening throughout the entire week. We've been meeting the people of the legislature. We've been meeting the guys, the speakers of the legislature, as the media houses. Yesterday, we were called into a media briefing. We were briefed on what is going to be happening throughout the entire session in different formats, how the premier will come, on which time is he coming, and what are the things that are expected from us. As the media houses, we were there, from radio stations to TV channels to print media and to us, the podcast, which is the State with Celani Dube. And we were able to then have a briefing in terms of asking what should be happening, what could be happening throughout the entire day. Now, we'll be talking to Paul, who is the secretariat or the spokesperson of the legislator, and he will be coming through here. We'll be talking to George, and also who's also the communication head in the Premier's office, and we'll be talking to various opposition parties that will be coming in as well, in terms of looking what are they expecting from the Premier speech, and also after the speech we'll come and talk to them and find out what was the speech expectation met, and what are the things to look forward to in these days. Now, we're in Mpumalanga. If you don't know where Mpumalanga, it is in the south, the east of South Africa. Mpumalanga is also a runabout in the ninth province of the South Africa. We are in the east. If you're looking at an hour and a half to Mozambique, 45 minutes away from Swaziland. And if you're looking where we're sitting, we're in the capital, which is the Mbombela city, which is Nelspruit. If you're looking for that, you can fly in from Johannesburg. It's less than an hour in terms of flights. If you're coming through into this province, you can have these majestic ways of the panorama routes. You can go and see Kruger, which is just where we're sitting. It's 63 kilometers from the Kruger National Park, and you'll be able to enjoy those wild, wild, wild things. We've got God's Windows, we've got the panorama routes, the Blader Canyon is also there, and you can go and see the three rondavels. This is Mpumalanga. This is what we are talking about as a state with Celani Dube. There's a lots and lots of guests. Now, the legislator, the Mpumalanga legislator, says today they want to introduce podcast into it, where we talk, but we're taking live we're talking to you live, and we're talking to the guests, and we want you to engage us on social media, whether it's Twitter, whether it's X, whether it's Facebook, and all social media. Remember, go and follow, subscribe on MyTV network, and follow us, the State with Celani Dube. It is the 5th of March 2006. Now, some of those pointers, as the Premier has been, people are saying they're expecting, they're wanting us to hear the update of the bulk water supply that has been promised over the years. They want an update of the fresh produce markets that they say they're looking forward to it. The high altitude training center, they also wanted to be look forward to say, is the Premier going to touch on these points? Is the Premier going to the water shortages, and how is he going to do the water shortages and all this stuff? The sewage spillage that is happening in Secunda, Mpumalanga area. We're looking forward to also him touching on that. How is it impacting on the tourism sector, and also and how we're going to increase on tourism sector? Remember, we're a citrus fruit, we're a citrus organization or province where there's lots of fruits that are leaving the province. Two, coal is coming through. About 80% of electricity comes through from this province, and the Premier will have to tell us. Our people are saying we don't have electricity. There's electricity disturbance or cuttage for about 2 to 3 hours. We're looking forward to that, and also for him to show us the way, and in terms of those things, and also the hospital updates of what is happening in the province. We also are saying that is going to be. It's the state with Celani Dube, and we are so much privileged as the podcast to be able to look and observe what is happening. Remember, it's the state with Celani Dube, and we'll be able to talk to Paul, who is also sitting. We're also going to talk to the opposition parties that are coming through. I see the EFF chairperson and the leader of the EFF, which is Colin Sidibe, is also here. Will be joining us pretty soon. Now, the one thing that you have to understand when we are looking at the Premier, remember, he comes from the skills or taking over from the previous Premier, which was Umamure Filwe, and then the Premier, the late Premier, which is the Honorable Didi Mabuza. He comes from there, and they're taking from those administration. So he also wants to step on his improvement. He wants to say, this is what I've been doing. He wants to say, this is what is happening in every spill and everything. So we're looking forward to him giving us a go ahead, to him saying, these are the things that we are going to be able to talk to in this thing. We are talking to, as guests are coming in now, we're looking to, one of the MPLs here who've just come and joined us. Mama, how are you doing?
I'm fine, and you?
Are you okay?
I'm okay.
Tell us who you are so that people get to know you at home as well.
Okay, I'm Thokozile Mashiane,
Yes.
the member of the provincial legislature, representing the party Action SA.
You're representing Action SA.
Yes.
Now, Action SA, we've been seeing you guys all over the show, especially in the province. I see this snippet. What are you expecting from the Premier speech today?
Firstly, let me say, whatever we're expecting, it must have a budget.
Yes.
It must have a timeline. It must also have consequence management for failure. So we expect the Premier to talk about unemployment, especially with the youth. We expect the Premier to talk about the education, more especially the schools that have been damaged by the flood since 2024.
Since 2024?
Yes, they're still not fixed. We expect the Premier to talk about our pouring borders because our economy is being abused by these illegal and undocumented foreigners.
Yes.
We expect the Premier to talk about our health. Our hospitals are a disaster. In fact, I was disappointed to hear the SONA,
yes,
where our president prioritized Gauteng and Western Cape on issues of Zamazamas, when we know very well that most of the old mines
it is
here
here
in Mpumalanga,
both in
especially
Barberton,
where I
yes,
was born.
yes,
And he just didn't put us on the map.
yes.
And I don't know, maybe in Mpumalanga people's lives are not that important to him. Because those
including the Lily mine and everything.
Yes, those communities living next to those mines are suffering. When it comes to Lily mine, you'll remember that last year the Premier promised a lot of jobs and
Yes.
economy. But with Lily mine and Babrook still closed, he won't reach that. If they can just give honor to those 3 victims underneath that Lily mine, remove that container, open those 2 mines. I'm telling you, those what he said last year will be realized overnight because the economy will grow and over 1,000 people will be employed in those mines.
I know that your president, Helen Mashaba, is very passionate about the Lily Mine issue.
Yes, and we're politicizing the issue. This issue needs politics. It needs political will.
Yes.
Because we can't solve a political issue with mathematics.
Absolutely.
So if our politicking it's human, we are going to do it every day.
All right. Now, anything? Let's talk about elections 2026, which is local government election. What is Action SA gonna be doing?
Remember, it will be the first time that
It's the first time.
yeah,
we
contesting.
Yes.
And we are going to contest. And we are we want to see councillors in those municipalities,
Yes.
especially our municipalities are dead.
Yes.
Our the largest municipalities in the country have been taken over by ESCOM because they're owing ESCOM billions and billions.
Yes.
So we want to go to those municipalities and change the status quo. And also this thing of cadre deployment must stop. You know, I've been a municipal official, municipal manager.
Yes.
If you don't appoint skilled people, you are not going to serve to do service delivery.
Tell me, with just in closing, we've got 17 municipalities. In your predictions in the local elections, how many municipalities do you think Action SA might get?
To be govern without us.
I like that. You are the kingmakers.
Oh, yes.
Right.
Yes.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I appreciate it very much.
Thank you. Bye.
So that was the leader of Action SA who's talking to us in this region, who's making sure that Action SA is heard. People in saying in Mpumalanga, they are not big, they are still small, but at the end of the day, I can tell you there is no small parties going forward now in South Africa. There is no small party. This is the stage of Celani Dube. It's live from the red carpet, and we'll be able to talk to each and every guest. We are talking to various people, and this is, as we said, it's the state of the province. We said we're gonna have the state of the province, and this is what is happening. We're bringing it to you live. It's the podcast with Celani Dube, and we brought to you by Mitv networks, and we'll be able to have a conversation with various individuals. We'll be joined by the DA person who's coming into a party leader, and be able to make sure that I like your stick. You must carry it. Take it in.
Okay.
This is part of the uniform. How are you, sir?
No, fine, thanks. Good morning.
Good.
Nice to
Please
join you.
just introduce yourself for people to get to know you at home.
Yeah, I'm Bosman Grobler, the leader of the Democratic Alliance Caucus in the Legislature.
All right. Now, DA has been. I just saw the, what do you call it? When you were unraveling the billboard in
Yes.
Johannesburg.
Yes.
What are we doing in Mpumalanga?
Well, I think we've got very similar problems.
All right.
In our opinion, a lack of political leadership, a lack of a will to implement, really. And the residents of Mpumalanga is in dire need of a change in the situation.
Absolutely. So what are you expecting from the speech? Everybody keeps on asking that. I know opposition party wants to punch on, but what are you expecting? What do you really want to hear?
Well, let me firstly say we are not that hopeful that we will get what we hear.
Okay.
But sometimes there's good things that the Premier says, and for us, implementation is really key.
It's key.
So whatever he says, if they implement it, then at least it will make a little difference. But over the past few years, we have not seen implementation, and we have to give the Premier some slack. It's only his second State of the Province address, so let's hope that he implements. What we would really like to see is economic opportunities for the residents so that we can drop our unemployment rate in the province. We've got a huge potential for tourism. We've got a huge potential for opening up the job market.
Okay.
And we really would like to see us utilize that. Second big thing is for the Premier to commit on finishing our infrastructure projects in the province. The international fresh produce market, the Mpumalanga agri-hubs, various hospitals like Mpumalanga, various schools that needs to be finished. Because if those projects aren't finished, they can't make a difference in the communities where they are.
I want to ask you that while you were saying those projects, are you holding this legislation, this government accountable when you are sitting with them? Because we're never there, but you always say it must be finished. Are you holding them accountable?
Look, the Democratic Alliance, specifically on the international fresh produce market,
Yes.
when the former Premier and Deputy President that
Filipino,
passed
yes.
on, no, I'm speaking
Didi.
about Didi Bambuza,
Yes.
when he announced it already, we said we're going to keep you accountable.
Okay.
And we've got a file as thick as you can think of letters, questions, statements that we've made to say, let's finish this project. Unfortunately, over the past or the previous terms, opposition was small.
Absolutely.
In this term, we are unique. I think it's a lot more balanced, and I think the accountability is a lot better. And that's what you want is good accountability. So
Let's talk local government elections.
yes,
Are you planning anything, and what do you think? And how many municipalities do you think DA wants to garnish for?
well, we are very clear with our own goals. We've got 2 strategic municipalities,
Right.
Steve Twete local municipality, as well as Governor Mbeki local municipalities. So for those 2, we are going, and we are going to get an outright majority there. Our all indications for us show that the ANC is going to fall under 50% in at least 7 of the municipalities in Mpumalanga, which brings an entire new scope to the residents of Mpumalanga.
Are you looking at a provincial GNU?
Well,
GPU.
it will be municipal
GPU.
governments of unity then.
Yes.
I can't commit to anything at this stage. I think it depends on what happens.
Okay.
And we might even have to go to look at municipality per municipality.
Exactly.
As long as the residents benefit and there's better basic service delivery in our local governments, that's something that we would like to see.
Thank you so much. And please come back after the state. We want to hear your reactions to the speech.
Thank you so
Just
much.
come straight here.
Thanks.
We'll love to hear that. That is the DA spokesperson, DA has always been able to talk to us in each and every municipality. We're going to be talking to the MK leader who's coming through. It's a party leader as well who's here. Father, how are you, sir?
I'm good.
Now, welcome again as the official opposition party. What are you expecting from the speech? Everybody's asking that these days.
Thank you very much. I think the first thing is for him to go back to the state of the province 2025.
Yes.
Come one by one. This is what we said we will implement, and we want accountability.
Yes.
And we're expecting him to do a scorecard
Yes.
from the beginning of the year until yesterday. It's unfortunate that the changes in the ecosystem,
Yes.
Lemvula lezo,
Yes.
exposed the ANC,
Absolutely.
exposed everybody. Will be helpful to our people. We're going to support that.
Yes.
Hence, as opposition parties and members of this legislature,
Yes.
we attend to our portfolio committees 100% so that we can help the legislature to be accountable. We need accountability. So if we can start by going back to 2025 and counting down to the later, the end of the year,
Yes.
and then also put the issue of failing infrastructure, job creation, and accountability to all what is happening in the province, then we're going to be happy. We're not going to oppose everything that he says. As long as it's helpful to our people, we're going to support that.
Baba, the fresh produce market, since UDT was there, then you refill the former premier. Now, why is it not finished? Are you getting answers as opposition?
There's no answer. There's no direct answer.
Yeah.
It's finance. We know their friends are benefiting there.
Yes.
We know the friends of the ANC are benefiting there.
Yeah.
Hence, we're saying if the infrastructure failing and the development of this infrastructure
Yes.
is helpful to our people,
Yes.
and it gives the province financial power,
Yes.
then we're going to support that. We don't have a problem. But you need to account, why is it still standing there? How many black people, how many black farmers have the right to supply there? How many have, the intake agreements with that department or with the offshore account? So we need that.
Baba, when you come back from the speech, please come and talk to say, did he leave? Just come straight here. We'll be able to say, what was he saying? Did he commit?
Okay, thank you
so
very much.
Please
Thank
do.
you.
Thank
Sure.
you. Enjoy your speech.
Okay.
It's the official opposition, Bamngxumalo, who's just been on, and we are saying it's the stage of the province address. Here we are with the chairperson of the EFF, Baba. Sitim, how are you doing?
Good, my man, and how are you?
Good to see you. You're even having light complexion now, ne?
Is it? I'm showing.
Listen, but what are you expecting from this speech? Anything better from previous years?
No, I'm not expecting anything better, anything new.
Yeah.
Year in, year out, we are coming here. We are listening to premiers after premier.
Yeah.
They make promises, but they don't deliver.
Absolutely.
So we're here for empty promises as usual. It's business as usual.
Yeah.
We're here for a talk shop. We're here for a wish list. That is not implantable. Where is the International Convention Center that the government of the ANC promised the people of Mpumalanga 20 years ago? Where's the multi-purpose center that the government of the ANC promised the people of Mpumalanga 20 years ago? The hospitals, Mapulane, is not having water. Families of the patients have to bring water with basket
Yes.
for their loved ones to bath and drink. The planning hospital is still not complete
Yo.
within the given time.
And the
The road infrastructure is it's well. The fresh bush market is not operating
but
as planned.
But as a leader, are you holding these guys accountable in the legislature? Because it seems like these guys just say speeches, but there's no one is holding accountable.
It's our work. We're holding them accountable in the portfolio committees.
Yes.
We are pushing them and so forth. It's just that they don't have a capability. It's a government that is not willing to help the people. How do you make such promises and you don't deliver for 20 years, 25 years,
Sure.
31 years into democracy? The children of Bushbuck region and Matsulu and Komas, they are still crossing rivers
Yes.
to access schools. Why don't you put foot bridges? Why don't you put access roads to schools and so forth? Such simple thing. The whole infrastructure of Mpumalanga is decayed. It's rotten to the core. The roads, you are staying here, you can see yourself. We get punctures every day and
Absolutely.
accidents every day. Nothing is done. The schools, they are dilapidated. Oh, the lacks of classroom and so forth. We have said to them, build new schools, add more classrooms in the growing towns like Nelspruit, Witbank, Secunda, and Mitv.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of migration for
Absolutely.
job purposes.
Yes.
And as a result, the children there can't get administration to these schools. The parents are forced to take their children to private schools, which they cannot afford because the so-called Lyra school, war school, is full, does not have capacity. So they don't think out of the box because as a leader, you must think and plan. As the population grows, you must also plan.
Absolutely.
But they are not doing that.
Now, Mnumzane, when we're coming to the local government elections, remember, it's coming to this year. When we spoke on the state podcast, we predicted round about all the municipalities. You said is it still there to say you want all the municipalities?
Yes, of
EFF.
course. We are the solution.
Yes.
EFF is the solution, is the alternative. No any other party can help the people. People of Mpumalanga, they don't have water. In the townships, you used to know that townships have running water. Today, in the townships, they buy water from the water tanker. Villages, it's worse. But villages were used because we used to go and fetch water in the pit and so forth.
Yeah.
But it's worse with the township today. There's no water. People buy water everywhere,
Absolutely.
including in the villages.
Yeah.
And water is expensive. Where do the people get money to buy water? There's no plan. Unemployment is very rife in Mpumalanga. At the 38%,
For
more than
youth as
any.
well is worse.
For youth is very worse. There's no plan to create jobs. There's no plan to grow the economy of Mpumalanga, which is a viable economy, by the way. Because we are rich in agriculture, mining, tourism,
Citrus,
and
all of that.
all of that. But because we have leadership that does not have a zeal to lead, nothing will happen.
Baba, when you come back from inside and listening to him, please come and tell us if anything was said that you think you agree.
Thank you.
We'd
I'll
love
come. I'm available,
to
Mama.
come through. Just come straight here. We're waiting for you.
Thank you very much.
This is the leader of the EFF and the chairperson in the province, Babu Colin Dube, and he's telling everybody to say, guys, there is so much that it's not been done. There is so much that a lot of people keep on saying it's not achieved. They've been waiting for a various government speeches after speeches, and still it's not done. It's the state of Celani Dube, and we really are bringing it to you live, and we're trying so much for you to get to know what opposition is saying, what they are thinking about the ANC, what they are saying to us as well as community. He said that the roads are debilitating, and we said that the schools are not being built to support, build more classes, more schools, especially in developing areas. He's looking at the job creation to say that again, youth is so much unemployed in this region and or in this province for that matter. The premier has got a mountain to climb, and people's expectation in Mpumalanga, they want delivery, they want service delivery. And with the local government elections that is booming just in the corner, people will take advantage of it. And you can see opposition parties, they want delivery. And people on the ground, it seems like the message is clear that they need these people to come through and so good. Baba. Baba Mkhacho, and you can take this. Babu, right, Baba?
Right, Gazlan.
Yeah, Baba. Tell me, utshela abantu ekhaya, who's Baba Mkhacho?
Lona u-Abednego Justice Mkhatshwa okanye obizwa ngokuthi u-AP Mkhatshwa,
Yes, Baba.
the provincial secretary of MK
Yes, sir.
in Mpumalanga.
Baba, tell us more about what MK is expecting to hear from the premier or as a secretary.
Yeah, thank you very much, Msangazi. You see, you know, by the beginning of this year, we went on the opening of the schools.
Yes,
When we went around, went around the Bush Parkridge and so on,
yes.
and other locations, only to find a good lapper. They call it the schools that we find that they're so dilapidated in a manner that you tend to wonder.
Mm.
Since every year in, year out, there is a financial year, there's a budget, but you'll find that principals are renting a room instead of our staff room. We need this
Budget.
the budget. Good we don't even know.
Mm.
Yeah, you know, you go to Omanyelate, it's very disgusting and it's kubuhlungu kakhulu.
Mm.
So then now I wish ukuthi kule budget yakhe njengathi ngiyasifisa ukuthi kwangathi bangayikhuphula kancane at least i-cater since 1994 we cannot have such kind of
Absolutely.
schools. Yeah.
Yeah.
The question of security too.
Mm.
You know, we're not safe in South Africa, especially in Mpumalanga. You have this corridor, the Maputo Road, the Libombo, where everyone, yeah, but by Ngenela and Jay, and no corner. It's very, yeah, we are too You see, yeah.
What can you do with this valley security to tight? What can we do?
Now, I think we need to monitor these borders. There must be strict borders, control on the border.
Yes.
In such a manner that every person that comes into South Africa must be accounted for. I see bang is about forward, but they must be documented. We must know who's coming in, where he's going, how long will be he staying in South Africa. Rather than they flock to Johannesburg, not knowing which destination they're going to stay for how long and so on. And no one is being monitored. We don't even know how many people have entered. The borders are so flawed.
There is a space, I think most of us even know, when we go to Swaziland or Mozambique, to a
Yeah.
So they go without even going to the border. But everybody in South Africa knows what Sifokhala. But no one even goes, even one police to say, as valid.
Yeah, it's true. And I wish even to stress this to South Africans. You know, South Africans must be patronage to their country, rather than go to even if we're born, we're hiding these people also. So then this comes with a love. If you love your country, you'll not allow this kind of thing to happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because tomorrow, the women that are getting killed, even men, both, even Amakaya, Bangana, Imbotos, and so on. These things all, Siblara, HDP as South Africa.
Absolutely.
But it needs us ourselves. We must love our country in a manner that must protect ourselves too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Baba, thank you so much. Ngicela ukuthi Muphuma and come and tell us the feedback, whether whatever he said is what you agree on. Just come through here so that we can see what local to expectility was it met or not.
Definitely, I will do so. Thank you
Siyabonga
very
kakhulu,
much,
Baba.
Mr.
Siyabonga, Baba Mkhacho. This is the Secretary General of Umkhonto Wesizwe in Mpumalanga, and we really appreciate him to come through and just talk to us with the state of the province. One of the main things people are keep on saying is that it's all about service delivery. They want things to happen now. It's all about things that needs to happen now. If it's not happening, we are not delivering. Local government elections, that is the key point of what everybody wants to see. Local government elections, people want to see delivery. They are not playing. They are saying, if it's not happening today, when is it going to happen? It's the state with Celani Dube. We are with another member of the legislature, MPL Babul Kele. Please take the mic off.
Yeah.
How are you, sir?
No, I'm good. How are you?
I like your green, huh?
It's made in Mpumalanga.
Made in Mpumalanga
Yeah,
way.
it's made in Steve Chwete.
Ah, you know people, eh?
Yeah, I'm promoting.
Please put your mic a little
I'm
bit.
to local economic development.
Yeah. Oh,
So
yeah.
I'm promoting the Steve Chwete outfit.
All right.
Yeah.
So I know I've been asking people almost a similar question. What are your expectation on the Premier's speech today?
Expectations. Well, we might have expectations, but it will depend on whether the Premier's direction will be what we are expecting.
Yes.
Look, we all expect that to have the infrastructure fixed in the
Okay.
province.
Yes.
From your water reticulation to your roads and to electricity, and we are expecting jobs to be created. We just expect to have the Premier to unveil a plan of how the jobs will be created, because now we are looking, we're not looking at these temporary jobs, these PW jobs. We're looking at permanent jobs with benefits like everybody else.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so we were expecting the Premier to speak towards that direction, but well, knowing them, they will be talking about RDP houses that they built in 1983, 1995.
Some are not complete.
Yeah, exactly, that's what he's going to tell us about, and he's going to tell us about schools that they've done.
We saw the NPA coming through, and they were arresting people, or they've arrested people. What's your
Well, for me, I believe they still made it's a tip of an iceberg.
absolutely?
Yes, it's the tip of an iceberg. Because last week we were preparing for a taking TLP.
Yes, to
Yes,
the people.
yeah, to the people. So I attended 2-3 meetings at Chief Albert Lutuli. I heard scandals from the agriculture department. I said, no. We still need SIU here in the Hawks. We still need to arrest more people,
Yes.
because it has been a culture to steal from the poor people. So we need to do something about it, and something needs to be done. Heads must roll. So yeah, we congratulate the Hawks for the investigations that they've done and the arrest. Let's wait for the NPA and see whether the NPA will deliver the justice that people of Mpumalanga deserve.
Okay. When we come back after the state of the province, please come through just for you to comment whether the speech was there. Did it meet or not?
Okay, no, thank you. I will do that. Thank
We'll
you.
appreciate it
Sure,
very
sure.
much.
Thank you.
Thanks. This is the MPL Babul Kwele from the legislature. He's talking to us about what has been happening in the province and what is his expectation. He says he wants delivery as well. Everybody wants delivery. The Premier head speeches has been having this is his second speech. They say he needs to have targets, deliverables, when are they doing it, and so that we are able to do it properly and on timelessly. It's the third session of the 7th administration of the Mpumalanga Legislature, brought to you by the Mpumalanga Legislature and also delivered by the Honorable Premier Obabu Manka, the Honorable Manka Ndlovu. Some of the things that people are crying about is the feedback on the forced produce market, which has been a thorn in the flesh for various people in Mpumalanga. It's been since the late Diti Mabuza was here. It was started, was announced. It fell through. It wasn't finished. The next Premier, which is Mamrefilo, came in as well. It wasn't finished until today. The Honorable Manka Ndlovu as the third Premier of one project that hasn't been completed, and people of Mpumalanga want the answers. They said it's all about budget. They don't have budget, but they say each and every year we're releasing budget to you guys. So as we said, we are in covering the state of the province address with the Honorable Premier Babu Manka Ndlovu coming through to deliver that. We're expecting it to be live, and we'll be bringing it to you right here on our channel, Mitv networks, and also the state with Celani Dube, go on our social media network on Facebook, Twitter, X, and Instagram. Go follow us. You'll be able to talk to us in various different ways. Now, it's the 5th of March. If you are looking at it live at home, already the drill has started. It seems like it's time. The Premier will be coming through eventually on the march and giving his salute. We're looking forward to that as well. They will be accompanied by the Mpumalanga Legislature Speaker, also the provincial commissioner of police will be here, Babu Mkhwanazi. So we're looking at all of those things that are going to be happening. I was laughing with somebody. It says, these Mkhwanazis are all over. There's a Mkhwanazi in KZN, Babu General Nkanka Mkhwanazi. There's a Mkhwanazi, which is a general also in this province, who's a commissioner. And there's another Mkhwanazi, Julius Mkhwanazi, who's in the Gauteng. We'll got to learn about him in the Maganga Commission. It's very interesting to understand what everything is going on in the province. We are 63 kilometers away from the Kruger National Park, if you are looking for that. Just at the airport where we're sitting in the capital, Mbombela City, it's close to 20 minutes drive from the airport. We are almost an hour and a half from Mozambique and 45 minutes from Swaziland if you're driving very fast, but not in that part. So we are in the east part of South Africa as the 9th province. That's why we call it Mpumalanga. It's the east. So that's what it's called. That's what it means. If you're looking maybe from a live television set, the Premier has started his parade, and he's coming down wearing almost a brownish suit, light brownish suit. And if you can see, and the speaker of the legislature is also accompanying him to come through. We're going to have a lovely speech for people to hear, and he's coming for his gun salute, and we're looking forward to it going forward. There's a lot of expectation, I must tell you. This is what has been said throughout. People are expecting a lot from the Premier to deliver, especially on how jobs will be generated, delivered, how everything is going to fall into place. People are saying this year it's about delivery, and I think even from the opposition, from the official leading party, which is the ANC, they want to deliver, because if they don't deliver, they know this is one of the few provinces that is still governed by the ANC majority. So if it goes otherwise, they'll have to govern with other parties. So they don't want that. The other parties want the municipalities, and that's going to be the difficult part of it. It's the state with Celani Dube. And thank you so much for tuning in and for watching on this channel.
We are probably trying to fix something. Right?
Umzangi, ngicela uzongishutha noRoni nabanye. Wena
in matric pass rate. Bachelor degree passes increased to 28,610, demonstrating an increase in the quality of our education. The rand is stronger than the dollar in 20 years, meaning we pay less for imports. For the first time in our history, 27 doctors are now permanently placed in local clinics. This is our story. This is our story. This is our song worth sharing with the people of Mpumalanga. Does this mean all is perfect? Can we say all is well? No, not at all. We have not yet reached the promised land. It means we must roll up our sleeves, put our shoulders to the wood, and work harder than before. What we see is the light at the end of the tunnel, not an oncoming train, but a beacon of hope towards a brighter future. The road to economic freedom is arduous, but we are prepared, well equipped, and ready to walk it. We have a reason to celebrate as Mpumalanga. We have successfully hosted several G20 events during South Africa's presidency, putting our province on the map and boosting tourism prospects. These events addressed environment and climate sustainability, development, just energy transition, critical for a coal-produced province with 12 of the 14 coal-fired power stations, research and innovation, anti-corruption, and tourism. They contributed significantly to local tourism, generating income for hospitality industry and small business sectors. All these events were hosted at Kruger National Park to showcase our biodiversity and commitment to conservation. Madam Speaker, this year we commemorate an important milestone in our political history. These events changed the course of history and shaped our journey to the democracy we enjoy today. 70 years ago, over 20,000 women of all races marched to Pretoria against past laws. Their courage reminds us that women played a foundational role in our liberation. It reminds us that gender equality is not just a symbolic gesture, it is a moral obligation, a human right, and essential to improving life. This year, we'll commemorate the life and legacy of former Mozambican President Samora Machel. Together with the government of Mozambique, we'll host the 40th commemoration of his passing in Mbuzini. This occasion will not only honor his contribution to the liberation of our region, but also reaffirm the enduring bonds of solidarity and friendship between our. Again this year, we will also proudly celebrate the centenary of the Kruger National Park through a series of campaigns. We will highlight how this iconic park has positively transformed the lives of surrounding communities and strengthened our province tourism industry. 50 years ago, on June 16, Soweto's youth led a historic march against Afrikaans as a medium of instruction and demanded an end to Bantu education designed to limit Black youth to unskilled labor. As Oliver Tambo reminded us, The children of any nation are its future. A country, movement, or person that does not value its youth does not deserve its future. It is again this backdrop that the ANC-led government worked tirelessly to address youth unemployment through various programs like the Premier's Youth Development Fund, benefiting over 280 youth-owned enterprises to the tune of 358 million rand. Our expanded public works program provide much needed income and work experiences. Agricultural initiative targeting youth and women, the Youth Employment Service and the Presidential Employment Stimulus, all of them bring relief to unemployment challenges. As we commemorate this event, we must remember our history, uphold our constitutional obligation, and unite across race, age, and status to build a better Mpumalanga, better South Africa, and better world. The state of the province priorities of our government. In 2024, during the national and provincial elections, people from Mpumalanga gave us a mandate to form government and fulfill their aspirations which are contained in our election manifesto and the government's strategic priorities. Let us remind ourselves that these priorities are: firstly, to drive inclusive growth and job creation. Secondly, to reduce poverty and tackle the high cost of living. Thirdly, to build a capable, ethical, and developmental state. Today, I stand before this august house not only to give an account of the progress made in addressing these priorities, but also to call upon all of us to work together in building a Mpumalanga province that stands firmly upon the foundation we have laid since the dawn of our democracy. Madam Speaker, we need to consolidate our efforts, work towards a common vision, forged through dialogue, through partnership with all our stakeholders, and through an honest and frank reflection on the lessons learned. We must not shy away from honest reflection. We must acknowledge our shortcomings, confront our mistakes, and work diligently to correct them, improving wherever we have fallen short. Madam Speaker, the recent arrest of several government officials and business people on allegations of corruption, fraud, and money laundering demonstrate that government is taking a firm and uncompromising stance against corruption. As government, we fully support the work of the Directorate for Priority Crime Investigations, the Hawks, and any other law enforcement agency, and will fully cooperate with investigations aimed at rooting out corruptions. Madam Speaker, a Chinese proverb says that a single tree falling makes a loud noise that everyone hears, while millions of trees grow in silence, but they still grow. This reminds us that a single minor mistake by government can draw widespread attention, while the many quiet successes that improve lives every day often go unnoticed. The year 2025 was a seminal year for South Africa and Mpumalanga's economy. Despite global volatility, we saw a progress reflected in provincial economic indicators. The economy is growing again by more than 1%. Unemployment is declining. poverty and inequality are lower than a decade ago, and inflation is at its lowest in years. Challenges remain: logistic, infrastructure, skills, and creating enabling environment at municipal level. But new hope and optimism are emerging across Mpumalanga. The highly successful Mpumalanga Investment and Mining Conference in October 2025 showcased our province as a destination of choice for investors. Of the 238 billion rand investment commitments, 25 billion has been signed off, focusing on the green economy. This marks a significant turning point and a major boost for the provincial economy. South Africa's growth looks steadier, expanding for 5 consecutive quarters, the longest unbroken growth phase since 2018, benefiting Mpumalanga directly. Provincial growth for 2026 is projected at 1.3%, with an average of 2% per annum from 2027 to 2029. Catalytic projects in these sectors will positively impact job creation, reduction of poverty, and the level of inequality, bringing our medium-term development plan target of 3% growth within reach. Statistics South Africa quarterly labor force survey for fourth quarter of 2025 shows Mpumalanga's employment at 1.28 million, the highest on record, reflecting net job gains of 37,420, the second highest. National gains were notable in construction and trade, with 5 of 6 quarters in 2024-25 recording net employment growth. Manufacturing losses remain a concern and must be addressed. We must keep our eye on the MTBP target of at least 60,000 new jobs per year. In 2025, Mpumalanga created 28,717 jobs, almost 50% of this target, requiring stronger performance in coming years. Industries with high job creation potential include agriculture and agro-processing, construction, trade including tourism and micro, small and medium enterprises, finance and business services. Provincial unemployment rate fell to 32.3% in the fourth quarter of 2025, improving our ranking to fourth lowest national. The provincial MTBP target of 25% unemployment is achievable with higher growth and sustained job creation efforts. Female unemployment and youth unemployment remain unacceptably high, despite notable improvements. Ensuring that young people acquire relevant qualifications and practical skills is critical to reducing graduate unemployment, which currently stands at 14.4%. Madam Speaker, the property sector is one of the largest and most powerful economic engines in the country. Yet, despite its scale and resilience, the sector has remained largely untransformed and inaccessible to previously disadvantaged individuals. In the spirit of transformation and alleviating youth unemployment in Mpumalanga, we'll be entering into a memorandum of understanding with the Property Practitioner Regulatory Authority and service sector to embark on a real estate training and placement program that will be implemented to equip participants with industry relevant knowledge, practical competencies, and placement opportunities within the property sector. The program aims to address unemployment, promote entrepreneurship, and increase participation in the real estate industry. 200 job opportunities will be created in the first cohort to be recruited at the beginning of the 2026-27 financial year. We want to thank the property practitioners, regulatory authority leadership, and the Minister of Human Settlement for partnering with Mpumalanga province in this program. The service sector contributed 5 million rand towards education in our province, enabling us to award 50 learners bursaries of 100,000 each for the 2026 academic year. Madam Speaker, I would like to take this opportunity to thank the private sector, particularly our mining companies, for their contribution to the province, especially in the education sector. We have received numerous donations, and these efforts do not go unnoticed. As a poverty trends report shows South Africa's lower bound poverty line improved by 8.8% between 2015 and 2023 to 37.9%. Mpumalanga recorded the second largest improvement among provinces. Lower bound poverty line dropped by 12.7% from 51.1% to 38.4%, ranking fourth lowest nationally. Madam Speaker, this is a clear indication that our efforts and intervention in the reduction of poverty are working. Income inequality measurement nationally has improved, moving towards the National Development Plan target of 0.60 by 2030. Mpumalanga recorded the best provincial income inequality measurement, commonly known as Gini coefficient, at 0.541. The National Income Dynamic Study confirmed that education and training improve employability with higher qualification, often leading to better paying jobs. Tourism remains a key economic and job driver. Mpumalanga is South Africa's second most visited province by both international and domestic tourists due to our world-renowned fauna and flora, mainly by the tourists from SADC countries. Madam Speaker, from the outset, we identified infrastructure as a catalyst for socio-economic growth. Investment in infrastructure drives jobs directly through construction and maintenance, and indirectly by enhancing productivity and lowering business costs. It creates temporary employment during construction while supporting permanent jobs in industries that use the infrastructure. Infrastructure also improves mobility for rural and local communities, help informal and small businesses reach market, and facilitate travel for school children and citizens. This extends beyond productive sectors like agriculture to essential socio-economic infrastructure, including health facilities, schools, electricity, water and sanitation, roads, transport network, and ICT systems. In the past year, Mpumalanga invested around 2.5 billion on road infrastructure, spanning urban and rural areas. Our roads network is like arteries carrying the lifeblood of the province, connecting urban and rural communities. Gauteng, Pompo, KZN, and neighboring countries, Mozambique and Eswatini, enabling economic and social activity. While transitioning to clean energy, our economy remains reliant on coal mines and coal power stations, requiring upgrades and maintenance of coal haulage roads. As the province, we affirm that coal will coexist with green energy. This is very important that the people of South Africa must know. That as Mpumalanga, we are saying coal will coexist with green energy. We will continue to monitor progress on coal haulage projects. The Lahle and Driekoppies Bridge are under design and planning phase. We are making progress in upgrading our tourist access roads. For example, Cottondale to Manyeleti Road. 2 of the 6 phases have already been completed. Under the Kupunyeltulu program, a significant number of potholes were patched, roads re-gravelled, and graded throughout the province to promote access, especially in local municipalities. The partnership between government and the private sector on rehabilitating road T171-1 between Mashishing and Rosenekal Skukun and the Oliphant River Lodge Phase 1 project are progressing very well. Madam Speaker, since December last year, torrential rains, thunderstorm and lightning severely affected Mpumalanga, Limpopo and parts of Mozambique. As a result, in our province, we lost 20 people, 2,507 private properties, including homes, were affected, leaving more than 200 households in need of emergency shelter. More than 130 SMEs, in particular those in the tourism sector, were severely affected, impacting on more than 800 jobs. Public infrastructure, including roads, bridges, water, networks, schools, libraries, health facilities, suffered extensive damage. Most affected areas in Mpumalanga include Nkomazi, Bushbuckridge, the city of Mbombela, and Tabacheu. Number of oversight visits were undertaken by various executive authorities, including the President of the Republic of South Africa, myself as the Premier of the province, MECs, ministers, and executive mayors, amongst others. All response interventions were successful with the support of several NGOs, such as the Gift of the Givers, Red Cross, Al-Maldad Foundation, including business such as Vodacom and Old Mutual, to name but a few. National government classified this disaster as a national disaster, unlocking resources for multi-sectoral relief and infrastructure rehabilitation. Government has begun with the work of restoring infrastructure. In some areas, emergency work has been completed. However, there is still much more work to be done. Whilst department and municipalities have adjusted their capital spending budget to accommodate emergencies, there is a shortfall of 5.9 billion. We want to request private sector to come and invest in our province. Working with the national government, we have started delivering temporary residential units targeting the most vulnerable household in Bushbuckridge and Komazi local municipalities. Roads that are requiring urgent attention because of disaster include the 2296 between Carino and Tequana South, the 2962 and the 2963 in Glenmore and Swallow Nest, various roads in Komazi and Bushbuckridge local municipalities. Our focus is building back better, creating climate resilient infrastructure capable of withstanding and recovering from shock. This requires holistic planning across all spheres of government, the public and private sectors. Madam Speaker, we are pleased with progress on the Nkomazi Special Economic Zone. As the Chinese proverb suggests, many trees quietly grow into a forest without making noise. While progress is not yet visible to the naked eye, important work continues, finalizing designs for bulk water, electricity and sewer system, engaging SANRAL and stakeholders on the N4 ring road configuration, collaborating with Infrastructure South Africa to unlock 1.2 billion for phase 1. In 2026-27, Mpumalanga Economic Regulator will focus on strengthening regulatory effectiveness, modernizing systems and mitigating social harm from gambling and liquor trading. Tourism is our beacon of hope and a guiding light in the darkness. It drives employment, contributes to economic growth, and support livelihoods in urban, rural, and township areas. This initiative will expand our tourism offering and elevate Mpumalanga as a top destination. The God's Window Skywalk project progressed steadily. Bulk water supply upgraded, electrical installations underway, site established, and civil work commenced. Construction is expected to start this year. This initiative will expand our tourism offering and elevate Mpumalanga as a top destination. Agriculture remains a key strategic sector for Mpumalanga while only contributing around 3% to provincial GDP compared to mining and manufacturing. It employs about 104,000 people, 12% of the total provincial employment. Young agripreneurship continues to yield tangible results. Some of the success stories of our young farmers include, amongst others, Lebu Mashif, a poultry farmer in Legislature that produces layers with 2 automated houses with 15,000 capacity each. Fikile Nkosi in Komazi produces and processes mushrooms. Lebu, hey, this name Lebu, it's a very significant name in Mpumalanga. So it means that if one day I'll get a granddaughter, I must give her the name Lebu. Lebu Ndlovu and Siso Shabalala in Chief Albert Litour produce broilers and layers. Benedict Mhlongo in Bushbuckridge produces vegetables. These young farmers are no longer peripheral participants. They are integrated into domestic and international markets, the province is building a new generation of commercial, compliant, and export-ready agricultural producers. We will continue with our smart agriculture boxes program, ensuring food security and
Honorable Speaker.
sustainable farming. To date, we have support 20,000
Premier, can you please take your
households.
Honorable Malachi?
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Greetings to yourself. Honorable Speaker, I think you need to start applying the rules. I see the guests are participating, and on arrival here, we were threatened by removing our guests because they participated. So I think we need to apply the rule, including the ministers from Parliament. They are clapping hands. They are participating in the proceedings that are not their proceedings. Thank you very much.
And this is not their parliament, it's our parliament. It's not GNU here. Eh? Stop that.
Paseni kahle Deputy Minister Mahlobo.
I thought that I'm the only one that is participating today. You will have your day. Oh,
Let me remind honorable members, in terms of our rules, Rule 34, which is conduct in the House, subsection 12, members or members of the public may not sing or converse aloud in the chamber during a sitting, but public may clap hands. That is allowed. Thank you. You can proceed.
So ministers are not public. Honorable Speaker.
The ministers are not public.
Honorable Speaker.
The ministers are not public.
Honorable,
Honorable Speaker.
They are not public.
honorable members, let us conduct ourselves according to the rules of the House. Today, they are guests. The ministers are guests. They are also in the public gallery. You must understand that.
No.
Manje seniklepa tandla for
Honorable
ini, and
Sidibe.
seniklepa for everything. Klepa nje ukuthi bathi ministers are guests. That is letter la. That is whatever bahlala letter la.
we-
Sebentu wenu vele nguwe lo.
We don't mind.
Useless. Bunch of useless.
Honorable Mkabela, can you please?
We don't
Here to clap hands
sorry, Honorable
and get
Kabela.
lunch.
You are interrupting me now. No, we don't mind the public clapping hands because the premier is saying something that they want to hear. But we are worried about the ministers, the deputy ministers of the GNU, because they've got their own parliament.
Point of order, Honorable Speaker.
They are not supposed to do that. We are here to listen.
Point of
That
order.
is not debate, and we're trying to hold the decorum of the
Order,
Honorable
Honorable Speaker.
Let me in with that said, it's fine.
Point of order, Honorable Speaker. Point of order, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable members.
Lava poso.
Honorable members.
Lava poso.
Honorable Kliff and Honorable Mkabela, I reminded you about the rules. In fact, all members in the House about the conduct in the House. You must not converse aloud. As Rule 34, subsection 12. And Honorable Sidibe, I have ruled on the matter. Can the Honorable Premier proceed?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And I want to thank members just for giving me just a break to pause for some few minutes. I'm now more energized. Recently, our economy has been affected by the foot and mouth disease impacting cattle, sheep, goats, and pigs. Welcome the announcement by His Excellency President Cyril Ramaphosa that foot and mouth disease will now be treated as a national disaster. The president always, when there is a state of uncertainty, he leads from the front. We are working closely with national government to assist farmers in navigating these challenges, working with the National Department of Agriculture. We have received a portion of 1 million vaccines and we are administering it. Our programs and campaign to control and manage animal disease will continue. We have successfully eradicated avian influenza in Gersibande and Kangala, lifting the export ban on poultry product and restoring confidence in the sector. Mpumalanga Green Cluster Energy continue to do a good job in facilitating the transition of our economy from traditional industries into green economy revolution. A number of multi-billion rand green energy investment projects are in the pipeline, including solar power, wind power, and hydropower. Madam Speaker, solving complex socio-economic issues such as unemployment, poverty, inequality, gender-based violence, crime, and infrastructure is not a sole responsibility of government. It requires a collaborative, all-hands-on-deck approach by government, the private sector, labor, and civil society. We have signed a memorandum of agreement with the University of Mpumalanga to leverage its expertise, research capacity, and human capital for provincial priorities. This collaboration will promote, among others, sustainable agriculture, innovation and applied research, job creation, and capacity building in health, education, and conservation. A flagship initiative is the Hybrid Rice Project, a comprehensive industrial ecosystem driving employment and GDP growth. 1.2 million hectares are dedicated to hybrid rice cultivation, producing 14.4 million tons annually, with a projected turnover of 40.32 billion rand. This project alone will create at least 388,000 jobs across all phases. A remarkable story to share with the people of Mpumalanga. Other partnership programs with UMP will focus on advanced maize, sorghum, and vegetable production. Another partner, Seriti Green Social and Economic Development Portfolio, has committed to align its program with the Mpumalanga government priorities. Central to this commitment is enterprise development focused on supporting SMEs alongside structured entrepreneur program designed to catalyze sustainable job creation and broaden economic participation. Through their Agri for Change program, Seriti support emerging agricultural entrepreneurs with technical expertise, business development skills, and improved market access. The program has contributed to 41 permanent agricultural jobs and enabled measurable entrepreneurial growth. One participant secured, out of these 41, one participant secured 20 million rand in expansion funding comprising 8 million in grant capital, and 12 million in concessional loan funding. This reflects the transformative potential of structured enterprise development supported by financiers, mentors, and government partners. The company's partnership with local government extend into youth development and social cohesion. Seriti and Green is advancing South Africa's just energy transition through a delivery-focused model rooted in South African ownership, capital, and operational capability. To safeguard energy security, coal and renewable energy sources are being developed in parallel. This approach enables decarbonization, creates new economic opportunities and jobs, and ensures continuity for communities historically dependent on coal. Seriti Green, the renewable energy arm of the Seriti Group, has been in operation for 3 years and is currently constructing the 900 megawatt Mbombela Emoyeni wind farm, with the first 155 megawatt phase scheduled for completion in mid-2026. Investment to date totals approximately 15 billion, with a further 25 billion rand planned over the next 2 years. Job creation remains central to the company's work. More than 1,700 jobs have been created, with 53% allocated to local residents within a 15-kilometer radius. Seriti Green has committed to build a tower that is 16-meter high with 5.5-meter diameter surrounding one of its turbine. The tower will be painted using the legend Gogo Esther Mahlangu's artwork. This will be one of the iconic features of the Seriti Green Mbombela Emoyeni project under Hlabangane District Municipality, and will be the tourism attraction area for our province. Madam Speaker, our collaboration with Paradigm Shift, an engineering solution company based here in Mpumalanga, in hosting a water and sanitation conference, culminated in important resolutions taken, amongst others, are the private sector committed itself to investing in water and sanitation projects in the province, development of water and sanitation technology, and sharing it with our municipalities, and promotion of inclusion of women, youth, and persons with disability in issues related to water and sanitation. Government will follow up on this commitment and make sure that all parties work towards their fulfillment. Local government is the closest authority to the people, responsible for delivering daily social services such as water, electricity, sanitation, roads, and waste management. Despite challenges experienced in some areas, Stats SA figures confirm that the majority of our citizens do have access to basic services. Waste management remains particularly challenging, especially in rural communities. We must acknowledge that some communities do not always receive quality services, often due to aging infrastructure that can no longer function optimally, or population growth existing capacities. Technical capacity is another concern, as some municipalities lack the requisite skills to maintain infrastructure, compounded by insufficient maintenance budget. Municipalities often under budget for infrastructure upkeep. The provincial government has made a firm decision to intervene and assist municipalities facing difficulties. People don't know that there is local government, that there is provincial and national government. They just know government as are now conducting skills audit to identify administrative and technical gaps. To address water challenges, we are collaborating with the Department of Water and Sanitation to minimize backlog across the province. Low-scope bulk water scheme is nearing completion at 90% construction status. Once completed, the resident of Lehane municipality will benefit from a reliable and sustainable water supply of 20 megaliters per day. In the meantime, the province, in collaboration with DWS and Rainwater, is exploring innovative ways to optimize water supply from existing infrastructure. Several critical infrastructure projects are underway to strengthen water and sanitation services. These include construction of the Dabos Dam along with an extensive bulk pipeline in Amsterdam and a state-of-the-art package plant with a significant bulk pipeline in Shipmore, located within Mkhondo municipality. The liquor sewer spillages and water access program, which comprises 10 projects, is designed to address sewer and water challenges in the municipality. This multifaceted approach is not only aimed at eliminating sewer spillages, but also ensures a reliable and sustainable water supply for all residents. In addressing aging infrastructure, we are replacing asbestos bulk lines from the water treatment plant to K-Lane Phase 2, as well as from the water treatment plant to the Bloemfontein Reservoir Phase 2 in Dr. J.S. Morocco. These projects are progressing very well. High priority bulk water and sanitation projects supported by multi-year grants include the upgrading of the Leidenberg wastewater treatment works, which involved refurbishment of the existing 5.5 megaliters per day capacity and expansion to 1.1 to 11 megaliters per day to eliminate spillages into the Save River is halfway complete. At the Valbank water treatment work, a reverse osmosis plant is being constructed to address hard metals caused by mining pollution. With progress currently at 40%, Belma's wastewater treatment works is being upgraded from 4 megaliters per day to 12 megaliters per day, including the construction of a pre-treatment system, and this project is at 68% complete. The Three Copies Regional Bulk Water Scheme is being upgraded from 20 megaliters per day to 40 megaliters per day with construction of approximately 40 kilometers of bulk pipeline and several reservoirs. Of the 4 work packages, 3 are fully completed while the last is at 15% completion. These include the upgrading of the Mkuhlu wastewater treatment works, the Kamhlushwa water treatment works in Nyati, the Tabachwewu regional bulk water supply covering Leroro, Mativiti, Remele, refurbishment and upgrading of the KwaZamokhule wastewater treatment works, Emelo wastewater treatment works, Sukalikwa regional bulk water supply phase 1, the Chief Albert Little bulk water project, and Emalahleni regional bulk water scheme. Department of Water and Sanitation has completed the development of the Provincial Bulk Water and Sanitation Master Plan, providing a comprehensive framework for planning and implementing bulk infrastructure projects across the province. Land invasion remains a significant barrier to our vision of developing sustainable human settlement. The province is committed to assisting municipalities to implement strategies to address land invasion effectively, ensuring that development and environmental preservation go hand in hand. Upgrading informal settlement is essential to ensure that residents gain access to clean running water, waterborne sewage system, or ablution facilities, subsidize housing, and secure land tenure through title deeds. By the end of the third quarter of 2025-26, several informal settlements have been approved and are set to be fully proclaimed as township by the 31st of March 2026. This will allow municipal engineering services to be installed, top structures to be built, and title deeds to be delivered. In Kangala, 32 townships have been approved and proclaimed, yielding 36,652 stands. In Gersbande, 7 Spuma township approvals have been granted, with 2 more expected before the end of March 2026. This settlement will yield 2,143 stands plus an additional 563 stands. In the Hlabangane, 1 township has been approved and proclaimed, yielding 5,708 stands. We are also creating new housing opportunities through greenfield projects to respond to the province housing backlog using the Human Settlement Development Grant. In Kangala, 10 greenfield township projects have been approved to be proclaimed by March 2026 with a combined yield of 43,677 stands. Gersbande, 3 Spuma township approvals will yield 10,849 new housing opportunities once municipal engineering services are complete. Social and economic facilities are also being prioritized. For the 2026 financial year, we plan to construct 1 economic social amenity at Bushbuckridge local municipality in the form of a community hall at Akorno. Madam Speaker, we have handed over 3 state-of-the-art completed social amenities projects, a community hall, and early childhood development center in Tunda, in Komas. Community hall and ECD center in Delmas, Victor Kanya, and ECD center in Mpumalanga in Emalahleni local municipality. To ensure economic empowerment through secure tenure we planned to deliver 1,000 title deeds in 2025-26, but we have surpassed this target by delivering 1,674 title deeds across the province. We aim to register and deliver 2,500 more title deeds in 2026-27. In the 2026-27 financial year, we plan to deliver 1,763 low-cost housing units in both formal township and rural areas. Additional, under the eradication of unsafe and uninhabitable housing program, 193 housing units will be built in Mkondo, Chief Albert Lituli, and in Komazi. Will continue replacing 322 asbestos roofed houses in Tembisilahane, Tabacheu, and Victor Kanya municipalities. In the 2025-26, Madam Speaker, the department successfully reconstituted and gazetted traditional councils in the province under Section 16 of the Traditional and Khoisan Leadership Act, except for 5 councils with leadership vacancies who must have to pay special attention, MEC Machilo. We also constructed 5 new traditional council offices at Matsamo, Amashangana, Mahlapahlapa, KwaDwalaza, and Ongonyaneni, while renovating 8 offices at Mpakeni, Msogwava, Lugedlane, Nkambeni, Mdluli, Mjindi, Makosonge Wesibili, King's Cluster, Parudi, and Esandleni. For the 2026-27 financial year, the department planned to construct 3 new traditional council offices at Lekgotla, Parudi, and Esandleni. 2 offices in Kwakuyengwa and Ebutswini will be renovated, while fencing and paving will be installed at 4 offices, namely Tare, Abahulu, Mashilane, and Makosonke Wesibili boundary wall. Madam Speaker, through tackling corruption, promoting social cohesion, protecting critical infrastructure, and improving service delivery, we are building a state that works for all. We are transforming government at all levels through professionalization of public service, building responsive state institutions, ensuring municipality accountability, and strengthening anti-corruption measures. The district development model is producing tangible results. Our strategic intent of integrating all plans from all spheres of government in the 3 districts has produced 255 catalytic projects to the value of 131.8 billion rand. Madam Speaker, a healthy nation depends on a healthy workforce, which in turn relies on healthy individuals and communities. This is a key driver of economic growth, social stability, and prosperity. A healthy nation enjoys low worker absenteeism, highly committed employees, and generally happy citizens. I'm proud to report that the ANC-led government has fulfilled the majority of the commitment we made last year. And in several areas, we have exceeded our own targets. Where challenges have arisen, We have not retreated. Instead, we have developed clear remedial plans to address shortcomings and accelerate service delivery. Neonatal mortality rate. Babies who die within 28 days of birth in our facilities has dropped from 8 per 1,000 in 1994 to 13.6 per 1,000 in the second quarter 2025-26. This means that we are saving more lives than before. Maternal mortality rate, women's death during pregnancy, while giving birth or within 42 days after giving birth remains a challenge. However, we are intensifying awareness campaign and encourage early clinic visit during pregnancy. Mpumalanga is on course to achieve all United Nations, the 95 HIV/AIDS targets. Efforts will continue to reach and exceed targets for those defaulting on treatment. The peer review shows 286 out of 290 clinics have attained ideal clinic standard. However, we will continue with the implementation of quality improvement plan so that all hospitals meet ideal hospital standard. Last year, in the Department of Health, we committed to fill vacancies in hospital and clinics. 2,024 healthcare professionals and 121 doctors have been appointed across the 3 districts. As indicated earlier, 27 doctors are permanently placed in primary healthcare facilities. We are bringing doctors to where people live, improving timely access to care, reducing unnecessary referrals to hospital. We are promoting primary health care. Mental health care remains a serious appointed registered counselors, social workers, clinical psychologists, and occupational therapists have been deployed to community health centers and surrounding clinics. Social infrastructure, clinics, and hospitals not only improve the quality of life but also drive economic growth by enhancing human capital, employment, and addressing poverty and inequality. Last year, 1.7 billion was allocated to health infrastructure, with 183 million rand for maintenance of existing facilities. Mapulaneng Regional Hospital is planned for completion this year. It will no longer appear on our SOPA. Other ongoing projects include KwaMhlanga Hospital Maternity Unit, New Troya Clinic, New Dufferin Clinic, MN Sindi Clinic, Babaton Clinic, Alexandria Clinic, Lebukhang Clinic, Vesbuhle Clinic, Kenrose Clinic, Langkloof Clinic, Lefiswane Clinic, and the upgrade of Siabuswa CHC. Madam Speaker, we are pleased with the announcement by His Excellency President Cyril Ramaphosa that the special relief dispensation grant will be extended. We are equally pleased by the stats finding that all our social grants combined have drastically reduced the poverty rate in our province. We'll continue to support the most vulnerable in our communities and further contribute to poverty alleviation. The era of get-rich schemes fueled by social media and speculative investments cannot replace the lasting value of education and skills development. Education provides sustainable livelihood, career resilience that no temporary scheme can offer. Education is the royal road to success. Our government invests billions annually in education to equip learners with skills for a changing world. Our campaign, Ranza Xikolo xa wena, leave no one behind, #babize bonke, ensures that no learner is excluded. Early childhood development remains a top priority, forming the foundation for lifelong learning. Children exposed to ECD are more likely to succeed academically and socially. Over 70,000 children are subsidized to access ECD programs through 1,300 registered community centers, while 69,221 grade R learners are enrolled in public school through the school health services. 18,287 grade R learners have been screened for barriers to learning. The program of professionalizing grade R educators is bearing fruits, with 1,729 out of the total of 2,034 being qualified.
Yes.
To improve reading for meaning, thousands of foundation phase teachers have been trained in reading strategies for English and African languages. As part of our efforts to retain and improve the learning capacity, 67,221 learners are benefiting from scholar transport, while over 1 million learners benefit from the no-fee schools policy and school nutrition program. As a result, through output rate, that is learners starting grade R and completing matric, has improved to 67%. We are number 2 in the country, which is above the national rate of 64%. This is a remarkable achievement. As part of promoting Ubunhle Buzile e-learning program in our rural school, government has distributed 60,000 tablets to grade 12 learners. And we are rolling out tablets to 80,000 grade 10 learners. I know that Deputy Minister of Basic Education, you are here. One day you told the president this good story. Indeed, it's a very good story. This is our story to share with the people of Mpumalanga. Multiple sanitation, water, classroom expansion, and school construction projects are underway or completed, often in partnership with businesses. In the previous State of the Province address, we made a firm commitment to prioritize the upgrading and replacement of 53 aging community-built schools across our provinces. I'm pleased to report that we have already commenced with the construction of 29 new schools, of which 10 will replace the old community-built schools. This means now we have 43 schools remaining under this commitment. During the current financial year, an additional 10 schools will be constructed, including the much anticipated school for the deaf and blind, Uzobunya Ilfu. To further fast-track progress, we are introducing a special program to build 10 more schools implemented in phases, each comprising 2 blocks of 8 classrooms. Through this accelerated approach, we are steadily eliminating old and unsuitable learning environment and restoring dignity to our learners and educators. Gender-based violence and femicide remain a grave concern in our province and across the country. Statistics are deeply worrying, hence the president has declared it as a national disaster. We are becoming a nation at war with itself, with violence occurring inside our bedrooms, dining rooms, and kitchens, and sometimes even extending into our workplaces. The rising number of murders committed by intimate partners is both concerning and unacceptable. GBV and femicide destroy families and communities. Behind every statistic is a woman or a child whose life may never be the same. Families are left to cope with psychological trauma, often manifesting as depression, anxiety, self-isolation, and a sense of worthlessness and anger. Mpumalanga has taken a leading role in scaling up the response to combat the scourge of GBVF. In the past 9 months alone, 2,048 victims of crime and violence have accessed psychosocial support services. Awareness campaigns have reached 68,457 people across the province, conducted in collaboration with our stakeholders that include the NPA, the Hawks, SAP, civil society structures, and all provincial departments to ensure victims receive security and protection. The province funds 22 victim support centers run by NPOs with 2 shelters owned by government. I am pleased to report that Mpumalanga has met the 2022 pronouncement of the Honorable President that each province should have a shelter in every district. In fact, our province has more than 2 shelters per district. During the 2025-26 financial year, 494 victims were accommodated in these shelters, including 23 victims of human trafficking. Additionally, the province is working closely with the National Gender-Based Violence Command Center, and communities are using this toll-free number to report cases, with 26 reports received in the past 9 months. We are also preparing to roll out the GBVF Brigades project, which will assign 554 youth to 90 police precincts to assist with GBVF programs. These brigades will conduct community assessment on the prevalence of GBVF cases, make referrals, and promote awareness programs. While GBV often happens behind closed doors, there is always a friend, a relative, or a neighbor who may be aware of a potential violent situation. We urge our communities not to ignore the signs of GBVF that are visible to all. We cannot continue with an attitude that says, izindaba zabantu thina asizingeni. Impi yomndeni ayingenwa. Turning a blind eye is not nation building. Madam Speaker, our culture and creative industry is of critical importance to us and is one of the vital components of our economic drivers in the province. It fosters social cohesion, promote innovation, and support micro, small, and medium industries, and contribute significantly to our tourism. Our signature events like Mpumalanga Cultural Experience celebrate our rich cultural heritage, artistic excellence, and diverse tradition. The events attract people from inside and outside the province. Our capacity to host big sporting events such as rugby, soccer games, and gold panning have been proven beyond doubt. The province will be building the sport arena here in Mbombela to promote indoor sports and better conferencing facilities. What we are lacking and we are working on it is the International Conference Center. We are currently preparing an investment package that will be attractive to potential investors. Madam Speaker, for the first time in our province history, Mpumalanga will host a global sanctioned professional tennis event under the banner of the International Tennis Federation, alongside a nationally sanctioned event by Tennis South Africa. The Mbombela Open will deliver a series of events across the 2026 season, firmly positioning tennis as a new and sustainable tourism market for Mpumalanga. Players from over 26 countries will converge in our beautiful province, while local players are also given access to compete at home soil at the world-class level. Madam Speaker, it is with great honor to announce the inaugural Premier's Cup that will build up from School Sport League that features young talents in soccer and netball, both at schools and out of school for the first time. The apex of this tournament will be a Premier Cup competition to be hosted at the Solomon Mahlangu Stadium in the Tembisani local municipality during the PSL off-season. The competition will feature the 4 professional and semi-professional teams from our province, showcasing local talent and strengthening the development of football in Mpumalanga. We are also proud of the remarkable strides demonstrated by our 2 local teams, KX Galaxy FC and Castric FC, following their qualification for the quarterfinals of the Netball Cup. If you want to learn how to beat Orlando Pirates and Sundowns, come to Mpumalanga. The escalating geopolitical tensions between the USA, Israel, and Iran reached a critical peak as witnessed in the past weekend. This conflict has immediate and severe implications for South Africa's economy and international standing. President Ramaphosa has condemned the illegal and provocative strike, calling for an immediate UN-led dialogue. We have seen Iran losing its supreme leader, Khamenei, and other senior officials, while USA also lost some of its military members. These tensions have direct impact on the South African economy as our fuel prices may increase currency volatility with the rand facing renewed selling pressure to the dollar, and travel disruptions as international flights were cancelled at OR Tambo, Cape Town, King Shaka airports due to airspace closure over the UAE and Qatar, which will affect international business trading and tourism in South Africa. Madam Speaker, we have taken important decisions to drive strategic evidence-based development. I will appoint a Premier's advisory panel of eminent experts to guide us on strategic investment intervention, trade, and provincial economic development. Our partnership with the University of Mpumalanga, especially on agricultural production, research, and human capital development, is a game changer. Mpumalanga will never be the same again. Our total investment on our economic and social infrastructure over the medium-term period will exceed 4 billion. We want to see improvement in maternal mortality rate and as a significant increase in the number of hospitals that have reached an ideal hospital standard. We'll continue to build more clinics, additional classrooms, and new schools, particularly in areas experiencing rapid population growth, to ensure that our people have access to quality health care and education services closer to where they live. This year, our country will hold local government elections, and we expect all municipalities to be fully prepared to ensure that the process is conducted efficiently, lawfully, and transparently. I'm saying this year, we are going to hold election, not next year, this year. And I'm not the president, but I know that this year we're going to have elections. Listening to the address of the president, we're going to have elections this year. We must start preparing. There shall be no compromise on municipalities that are failing in their core responsibility to deliver basic services to our communities. For the 2026-27 financial year, a total of 1.4 billion from the Regional Bulk Infrastructure Grant and Water Services Infrastructure Grant has been earmarked to fund additional high-priority projects. New project plan for 26-27 financial year include the Kamhlushwa package plant with bulk sewer and water lines in Komazi local municipality, the Brandon Village bulk water and sewer line in Govenbeki local municipality, and the Hospital View access roads with bulk sewer and water lines in Bushbuck Ridge local municipality. We must find a better way of dealing with GBF and femicide. We'll mobilize our communities against crime and GBF and make this scourge a #1 priority. Madam Speaker, anyone who wants to deny that the ANC-led government in this province has made enormous strides on a number of fronts is suffering from self-denial. However, we all know that the sound of one tree falling does sometimes drown the evidence of 1,000 trees that are silently growing. But we're not going to stop planting more trees of progress and development just because of that one noisy tree. The challenges facing our people remain the lived experience: unemployment, poverty, flood damage, drought, water shortages, and many others. The statistics I have presented to you today show that these challenges are being attended to and there is serious progress. These challenges must not lead us to despair. They should inspire us work even harder and employ collaborative approach that will produce tangible positive results. Our work of building a better Mpumalanga remain unfinished. This will only be accomplished if all of us can one day look back with pride and satisfaction and declare that in Mpumalanga, no child goes to bed on an empty stomach. No baby or mother dies before, during, or after labor on our healthcare facilities. No young person is left behind on skills development and technological advancement. No citizen is deprived of his or her human rights, including clean pipe water, dignified sanitation, electricity, and safe and secure environment. No girl child misses school because of lack of sanitary towels. Economic benefits of Mpumalanga are shared by all those who live in the province. The land is also shared by all our citizens. Jobs are created and small and informal businesses are supported and thriving. And corruption is uprooted from our government. Working harder and smarter, united by our common purpose and our single-mindedness and a vision of prosperous Mpumalanga, we can and we shall overcome our obstacles and build a better province. My fellow public representatives, government officials, and captains of both large and small industries, I invite you to begin now to work diligently in Mpumalanga. When the sun rises, we must rise with it, committed to work hard for the progress and prosperity of our province. As an old African proverb reminds us, that dawn does not come twice to wake a person. A new beginning calls on us to rise with purpose, courage, and shared determination to shape our future together. Svaganyana say, Imususunyana o, Mudimo, Urifile. God bless Africa. God bless South Africa. God bless Mpumalanga, our province.
Mutsotso wa go ja tšhelete. Mutsotso wa go ja imali. Tshama nasi na mara kwati voila.
Can you please take your seats?
No, that's true. That's true. 1% we are phela lo mnyaka. 2029 that's true sibakanyana. Sifedile. 51% part is going 2029.
Sidibe, I recognize you.
I am agreeing with the Premier Sibakanyana.
Thank you, Honorable Premier, for the well-delivered State of the Province address. The Honorable Premier and Honorable members, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, you are invited to a luncheon at the marquee next to exit the gate of Riverside Government Complex. Honorable members and distinguished guests are requested to remain at their places until the procession has left the chamber. That concludes the business for the day. The House is adjourned until Tuesday, the 10th of March 2026 at 2:15 in this very same chamber.
Stand by, Celani. Hello? Stand by. Hello? Stand by. Yang is in the phone in the hand. This is interview of you. Oh, yeah. Is this on? Yeah. Just everyone else. It's on.
Testing 1 2 1 2 1 2. Testing 1 2. Gentlemen, welcome back to the State of Celani Dube. It's the third session of the seventh administration in this chamber. We're coming through live from the Mpumalanga Legislature, and the Premier has just delivered his State of the Province address. And we're looking forward to him and the other guys, especially from the opposition party, to come and address in terms of what has been happening. If the speech that he was saying is what they were expecting, is there anything that they can take out from them? Are there deliverables? Are there time frames? You heard the official opposition was saying they want to hear the time frame. They want to know if he's ready, if things are going to be delivered. What was the project's 2024 promises, 2025 promises? What has the highlight? Has it been achieved, or what is the Premier saying in terms of jobs? People want to know, what is their strategy towards the job market, especially for the youth, in terms of other projects like the agricultural produce market, if it will be finished. Is there a timeline that has been stipulated by the Premier that we want to see that thing being finalized? We're looking at corruption. What is the Premier going to put in place as part of the fighting against corruption? Remember, those are the things in Mpumalanga that we've seen leaders of society, including people from different genders and society, saying gender-based violence is not a no. So we want to understand the Premier. How is he going to be fighting that in conjunction with other groups, other people who are sitting and who also admire the Premier? We're talking to the Sowetan journalist today who represent Mpumalanga and Limpopo as well, and reporting in Gauteng. Tell me, Mandla Koza, from your side as a journalist, listening to the Premier, what did the speech has entailed for you?
Thank you very much, Dube. The Premier was spot on, specifically on the matter of job creation in the province, and also the Premier's Fund, which it seems as a driver for making sure that young also the commitments that he has made is made possible. Whereas if officials are failing, you must be tough and deal with them, because what we have seen is that this problem of cadre deployment gets to a point whereby somebody will just be looking at his work and knows that there's no consequence management.
Absolutely. No, thank you very much, Manga. Anything else that you felt it's supposed to be the viewers at home can even know what the Premier said? Maybe you want to mention.
People will remember that Mpumalanga is a province which with agriculture, mining, and also tourism as part of the economic drivers.
Yes.
And in the process, we've got a problem also of water in Mpumalanga. When he spoke about the Amsterdam Dam, when he spoke about the Mbombela Dam, and also the Nkangala Dam, we have only seen Sibande and the National Water Department of Water and Sanitation coming in that one. We are still waiting for the Mbombela Dam and also Nkangala to solve this issue of water, because if you can look in places like Marapian, Dr. J.S. Morok, there's no water. People are getting water where animals are also maybe drinking.
Mr. Khoza, thank you so much again for coming to talk to us and just giving us a brief of thought from your Sowetan journalistic point of view and listening to the Premier. What did it tell for you? Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much.
We are talking to Michael Khoza, who's also the journalist for Sowetan in Mpumalanga, Limpopo, and reporting to Gauteng. He always check on things that are nationally posted. That's why he's here on the State of the Province address of Mpumalanga. Looking at what the Premier has said, he's highlighted that the Premier has said there are projects that are going to be targeting water shortages in the province, which we are looking at in Nkangala and also in Riverside. We're looking forward to seeing those projects being implemented, budget being allocated. The one thing he also says is the job for the youth. He says there's the Premier Youth Fund that you can always apply as a youth person. And the youth, you know, from 18 till 35 per se. I always have this question to say, between 35 and 55, what happens to those professionals who are not working? So as the minute you are 36, you're no longer youth. So what are we saying with those people who either are qualified, have got degrees, are sitting at home, and we're saying they can't apply anymore, they're no longer youth? And I think that market still needs to be addressed properly. Now the MPLs, the legislator, everybody is out. Everybody is come out with getting budgetary feedback from people who are saying, listen, the speech was like this and like that. So we want to have that conversation with each and everyone. We'll be having opposition parties that will come through and listening to in reaction to what the Premier has been saying. It's the State with Celani Dube covering you live from the Mpumalanga Legislature in these chambers. And we've been talking, and part of it is the podcast that we keep on saying it's going to be happening throughout the entire province. We're covering, as we want to go to taking legislature to the people, that we want to see the people, get in touch with the people, let the people of the legislature and the government and the Premier accustomed to what he's been saying. Oh, he's back, please. No, you're not done. This is the same interview. Oh, Kelly. You were listening to the speech. Rhetoric or not?
Same old, with a variety of wishes.
Okay.
And some of the wishes, we all know what they will not materialize. I am disappointed. I am disappointed because when you know what you in Mpumalanga, in a potential in Hlabangane, to turn around things, and you listen to a state of the province, you expect the Premier to give you details,
absolutely,
of what are the plans that we are having. Well, it's really seriously disappointing. I'm disappointed.
There's a fund there for the youth fund. There's a youth fund, 360 million. That's going to be allocated to you. I know youth is from 0 to 35. What happens between the people of 35 till 55? They're no longer youth.
Let's start with the fund for youth.
Yes.
We fund them to do what? Because there is no guideline. Look, the provincial economic department or the vision of the Premier in industrialization
it has not clear plan into how to channel young people to what do you want them to go through? What do you want them to do?
Yes.
What kind of businesses do you want them to do? You don't have a vision in that. So you just give young people 2 million to go and buy paints and go and paint nails.
Yes.
You know, you say that's youth empowerment. That's not youth empowerment at all. That's not car wash. No, it's not car washes. You find, I mean, this is really disappointing. Seriously disappointing. I'm disappointed, but we hope that in the next coming few weeks, during the oral questions to the Premier,
Yes.
give us clear answers
Yes.
to what does it really want, more details. Maybe we get details from there.
Yes.
So now I'm disappointed.
Thank you so much.
I'm disappointed. No, it's fine. Let's hope in the next day we'll get some answers at here.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're talking to this, the MPL, the Honorable Lungelo, who's also taking questions, reply to the legislator. He says he's disappointed with what the Premier has just delivered. He says there's no clear chances, there's no clear goals, there's nothing that he can take. He says they will very much be asking the Premier what he has to do, and they want details, they want budgets, and they want delivery. Baba, Secretary General, the speech is done. How was it?
Oh, I'm so disappointed. That the same old. Yeah, same old.
It's not even a different song.
It's not even a different song,
Right?
You know, it made me even sleep. Yeah, in a manner that I thought this time will come different. I don't know what's happening with it.
Yes.
You see, we only kept touching things that are not long. He speaks about Mpumalanga. In Mpumalanga.
Yes.
When you go to Tabachewula, you can't even ride a bicycle the way the protocols are.
Yes.
The question of schools, the question of security does not mention anything. He tells you about bringing the youth brigade.
Yes.
How do you bring in the youth brigade when you have your CTW and
Some of them are sitting at home.
and sitting at home and bringing the end alone for nothing? Now we want to bring another youth brigade that are going to report on issues that are of the youth and the society.
Yes.
Which is very imminent. The question of the one that I mentioned regarding the overflow of people from Mozambique
Yes.
and Lesotho.
The security of the country.
The security of the country. It's very key. You see, we are not safe. You go to Msholos there. I'm telling you,
Msholozo, there's even a place they call it Mozambique. The other side of
You go to the Matafin. Mozambicans are selling stuff to South Africa.
Yeah.
Imagine those kind of. You go to Anderson Street there. There are drugs, cartels, and all those.
Yes.
So instead of dealing with question of youth is suffering, you see, and it's a ticking bomb. Like, why can't you create those things that you say in the room? There are no timelines. It's just culminating. I'm very disappointed.
Thank you so much, Secretary. And we will appreciate your comments. We really appreciate it. Thank you. This is the SG of the province, and he's really much says he's disappointed in what the speeches happen in the province. And we are trying so very much to be able to talk to each and every person who's coming through and who's really are saying this is what the people, the Premier has been saying. I'm looking for somebody who's going to tell me that they are satisfied. I'm looking for somebody who's going to tell me there's something they picked up from the Premier's office and they are not ashamed of it. I'm looking for people in the ANC caucuses who are going to come and sit with us and have a conversation with us. And those are the things we want to understand, and those are the things we want to talk to. Again, the leader of the DA caucus is back here. I told you to leave. This is a uniform. Don't leave your stick. I almost put it down, but I'm back and I'm here with it. I didn't have to use it. What was the whole thing, by the way, of the theme? Well, it's actually our provincial leader, the Democratic Alliance provincial leader. She's the Deputy Minister of Small Business. So we are very good friends. She's also here today, and she moves around all over the country as deputy minister. And then she finds these small businesses that are really good tailors. So she supports them, and then I support them as well.
Like that.
And you know, we've become kind of a couple at events like this. So we theme together. So today we've got a bit of a Swazi thing.
This is wonderful. Now, let's come back to the speech. You've just listened to it. Are you disappointed?
I don't think I'm that disappointed. I think it was a bit maybe something that we expected. I think one thing that proved to me today is that the Premier is really out of touch about what's happening at projects on the ground.
Okay.
I think he relies on reports from departments.
Yes.
And then as we hold the executive accountable as members, we go out and we do oversights. And what we find in the field and what the Premier spoke about today is really two different things.
Yes.
Whether you look at the Mpumalanga hospital, which we spoke about earlier, he said it's going to finish this year. I will eat this knopkiri if that thing finishes this year. There's no way that it's a huge building and it's not going to finish this year. Hopefully it does finish. We want it to finish, but there's no way it's going to happen. And whether you look at libraries across the province, whether you look at schools, he promised a few schools, but we haven't finished other schools. He spoke again about a school for the deaf, which still haven't materialized. So there's many things that the Premier mentioned as if it has been implemented or it's very close to implementing. It's not what we see in the field, and that is what we
even mentioned the agricultural thing that you said you wanted to see.
He didn't speak about the agri-hubs. The only thing that he spoke about was with the foot and mouth disease and the vaccines that came in.
Yes.
Obviously, the DA is a bit involved there with having the Minister of Agriculture.
Yes.
He claimed it a bit for the President. But, you know, let's give credit where it's due. We are happy that the vaccines are coming in. We don't want our agriculture sector to get hurt in that space. So yeah.
Anything that you want to take, maybe a question you will be raising when we take the legislature to the people, to the Premier?
Look, maybe a question, maybe many questions.
Yes.
Let me state that as the Democratic Alliance, we don't always agree with what government decides, but they have got the mandate. The ANC has got the mandate, and therefore they have to implement what they promise the people.
Yes.
We are there to hold them accountable. We are there to make sure that we get value for every rand that's spent,
Sure.
and that's what we want to do. We try and influence, and we try to make suggestions where we are. But if we don't get them in, we are happy to say, all right, let's make sure that whatever you decide is implemented, because for us, implementation is key.
Absolutely.
If you implement anything for that matter, it's going to make a difference in the lives. And that's what we want. We want to see projects finish. We want to see opportunities created. And that's what we are here to do.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. That's the leader of the DA caucus in Mpumalanga, and he says he wants to see things implemented. He's not going to argue with people who've got the mandate, but he wants it to be implemented properly, and that's what we want to see. That's what we want people to say, that this is what has been implemented. And the second of that, he says, there is so many projects that the Premier has highlighted as almost like new projects. And people, when you see them on the ground, when you're on the ground, those projects are not nearly even started. Some of them not nearly even done. So we'll be looking at the Premier. We want to hold the Premier accountable. And as Mpumalanga province, we are trying so much to see the province grow, to see the province prosper. That's why we want to see the executive being accountable of what they are saying. It mustn't be just speeches. It must be something that is relevant, and it must be something that's been achievable. We are looking at the state of the province of Mpumalanga, and we've just had, if you've just joined us, the Premier has just delivered his State of the Nation address. We're getting reactions from the opposition. We're getting reactions from ordinary people who were invited as VIP guests for the Premier and for the legislature. And we are so proud that a lot of people which we are talking to are pointing out on the good or the bad of what the Premier has been saying. And we are looking forward. Later on, I'll be asking the Premier, I'll be talking to him on a one-on-one interview and be able to ask him my own relevant questions about the state of the province address. Looking forward to talking to him, and those are the things we need to be doing and holding the Premier accountable. We want to see the number one citizen knowing and working for the people, and even his team. His PEC members need to know that they're working for the province. We're going to move from the Premier's office, we're going to go to the Department of Health. We're going to look at all the hospitals, look at all the clinics. We're going to move from there to education, look at all the colleges, the schools that are here as well, including our university, because it falls under the huge Department of Education, even if it's higher education. But we want that education must take priority in our youth, in our schools, and also have those schools been built as promised. That's what we want to see that happening. Most of the things that are happening also will then look into the space of culture, sports, and recreation to say, yes, we're a cultural diverse province. We've got your Ndebele, your Swati, your Zulu, your Pedi, all over in this province. How are the cultures managed? How is the culture diversity bringing up? Especially people who are performing, especially people who are artists. They want to know how are they going to be helped in this industry? How are they going to be enhanced? And then maybe it's for them to prosper and be known internationally from that they are from Mpumalanga. As icons of this province, we want them to see and to do that right here on the stage with Celani Dube. We're still waiting for other opposition parties to come through, to come and give a comment on what is happening or what the speech has been, the Premier has been doing. Remember, people are looking at various things in the province. They're looking at jobs. That is what their cry has been. What about the jobs? What about the things that have been happening? They can't see it. They can't hear it. They want to see that they go. And those are the things that that they want to have a discussion on and everything. Those are the people that they want to have a discussion. The people want to know where's everybody going to. Remember, as the states, we need to know the state of the province. From education, we look into everything into that. We are bringing in Colin Sitlibe now from the opposition party of EFF. The party leader as well. Baba, I hear you ranting. How was the speech again?
No. There was nothing much like I said before.
Yes.
That is a wish list. It's a talk show. It's empty promises. You see, in a speech,
yes,
you must start by giving us the background and the achievement of the commitment that you or promises that you have made before. But we have promised many things before. The 3 terms. Today is not reporting.
It's not even mentioning it.
It's not even mentioning it.
Yeah.
That with those terms that we committed in our last SOPA,
yes,
we are here, the soil training or is at 90% construction or what. Nothing at all. The only thing we spoke about is repetitive, which I think they don't even peruse their speech properly. It's GPV and crime. GPVF and crime. I think 3 times in his speech. But once he contradicts himself because on the other hand, he said it's not the sole responsibility of the police or government to fight GPV and crime. Whose responsibility is that? Because the police are under government.
Absolutely.
And we must report GPV to police and so forth. So that means government is responsible. So I find that statement very disturbing from him. And I think we didn't speak about the progress made in terms of the hospital.
Yes.
That appeal, the 2 hospitals, Middelburg and Mpumalanga Hospital. Because we got the crisis
hospital. Who says he wants to finish it this year?
Well, they always wish, but it doesn't happen because of their incapacity. We all want to see the hospital finished. We all want to see the fresh produce market operating.
You mentioned the fresh food market now.
Yes, but as in when, they can't say it will be operational when because they don't know and follow up closely in the process. And instead, the prices the amount of the construction are ballooning, going up more than the initial tender prices, which cost us as the taxpayers money. We spoke about new schools, new classrooms, and so forth, which we appreciate. We need them because there's a shortage. The population is growing rapidly.
Absolutely.
But we need them also in the towns. And we table the motion that Nelspruit, Witbank, Mitv, and Secunda are growing towns because of employment. There are a lot of immigrant workers. And people are then staying there because of work and so forth with their children. And when they want to administer their children in those schools, they can't find space because it's full. So we need more classrooms, more schools in those areas and towns so that we can resolve this problem of shortage of spaces and classrooms.
Thank you, Baba, for your time. But the last one, if you can choose one municipality as EFF, which one are you targeting for local municipality? Which one do you want?
We're targeting for what?
For local government
to take over.
Yeah.
We want them all. The people are suffering in all the municipalities. We're going to take them all. We're going to
I'm gonna give you maybe a top 5 today.
No. We want all of them. The people must. EFF is the solution. Yes. Vote EFF, and that's where they will get water.
Thank you.
Because money spent for nothing, and it's there.
The member of parliament and the chairperson and the leader of EFF in the region of Mpumalanga. Thank you so much, sir. And he says he wants all the municipalities. We finish with the thing is we're moving into the media houses where we're going to be talking to the premier right here. This is the stage with Celani Dube live from Mpumalanga Legislature.